Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back for episode number 6. Now, this is an exciting episode because we are completely taking apart the wheel hubs. Now, this has been leaking, and with our brand new powder coated rims, I don't want grease just spraying all over the inside of the rim. When we were cleaning the rims to powder coat them, there were coats of grease all over the place, and you can see it's just disgusting in here anyways. It's like over 50 years old, so all this stuff needs to be completely gone through, degrease, which is what we've got right here. You put it in the little parts bin, and then you let it soak for a while. Use a brush, you brush off the dirt, and then you dip it in there again, and you got to do that about 4 or 5 times until it's finally starting to look like a normal part here. I'm just cleaning it off with some brake parts cleaner just to get everything nice and clean before I start knocking off all the paint with a drill here. I did a couple different items to get the paint off. I used this little drill, and then I also used a couple sanding blocks to get the smaller bits off of there. Lastly, finally got everything kind of cleaned off, and then putting on the brand new gasket. The old gasket wasn't even a thing, basically. Someone previously put like some weird rubber gasket on there, and that's also why it was leaking. So that didn't work. So we're doing it the right way here. We're putting on the correct gasket, which fits on perfectly. It's a snug fit, so it just sits on nice and smooth there. Put on some grease in there just to make it run smooth when we first start rolling the gears again and letting the oil flow back in there. We're also going to replace the oil as well in the diff, so we're not putting all the gross oil back into the wheel hubs here. This is the front of the wheel too, and you can tell that it's the front of the wheel because it has this open cap on the front here, and that's allowing you to lock and unlock the hubs. And on this 1974 Land Rover, the locking and unlocking hubs are only on the front. That's typically how it is with all vehicles, because if you unlock the rear, you wouldn't be able to drive your vehicle anyways in two-wheel drive. I also put on that nice seal there, so like I said, with this cap, there's a moving part there, so that seal is just helping prevent any oil from leaking. And then I also put another seal that you just saw there, brand new seal with a gasket in there to tighten that nut on, and put a little bit more grease there just to make sure it's going to be really easy to take off when it's brand spanking new. I also had to line it up so I could put the cotter pin through the hole using a little flathead and some hammer action, and we're getting this thing tidied up, and it's starting to look really good here. Put some more grease on all the splines here. I just like putting grease there because the back and forth with when you're off-roading, it's just really nice to have a little layer of grease there to help reduce the heat and friction on those splines to make them last as long as possible. Also torquing the hub bolts in a star pattern here. And then lastly, just double checking it, going in a circle to make sure everything's torqued to spec. Now the fun part, I got the lug nuts on here with the Steel-It. The Steel-It stuff, if you don't know about it, it's a really cool can. It lasts forever. It's really expensive though. It's about $25 a can. Yeah, I know that's really expensive, but man, is it worth it. This stuff is really good. I also used a metal conditioner before this just to clean off the metal. If I have any greasy fingerprints or oil or anything on there, just wanted to clean it off before the paint goes on there. Just want to do a really nice first coat with the lug nuts and hub and everything. And as you can see, this is the final product. For the front hubs, I sanded that front cap so the metal actually came off of it, and then I clear coated it so that wouldn't rust or start oxidizing or anything like that. But man, it sure looks really good. It looks brand spanking new. We're really excited about it. Putting the drum brake back on, and as you can see, I'm lining it back up and being super careful not to scratch the hub because it just looks brand spanking new. Put on that flathead screw, and now the drum brake is set, and we're keeping our fingers crossed to see if this is really going to look good. There it is, all wet without it being sanded. Looks really good. I had a little cardboard cutout so I wasn't getting anything too dirty. And then the first time ever, the brand new powder coated rims with the brand new black wheel hubs. I mean, this, let's see what happens. I'm being super careful again. Oh, here we go. Man, the contrast and everything, it just looks like a brand new vehicle. It looks really good. Now this part I was a little worried. This is kind of where I was going to see if my powder coat was going to chip, pushing those nuts all the way up to against the powder coat, but none of it chipped off, so the powder did fully cure, which I was really excited about, so that's really good news. And there's the final product. I mean, wow, it just looks completely different. And here's the rear. Everything's basically the same in the rear, except you just have a rear cap that goes on the hub instead of that spline gear that engages the hubs. Like I was saying, just when you have it in two-wheel drive, you're always going to have those rear axles engaged while you're driving, so there's no reason to have locking and unlocking hubs in the rear here. And here's the final product as well with the brand new cap on there. I just used a rubber mallet and it slid on nice and smooth.
Yeah, so you wouldn't want to sandblast this because you would.
Wow, take a look at that. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as we are. I mean, it looks really good. I love the look of it on how you have the old paint with the brand new rims and hubs. I love that contrast. It kind of gives you a touch of modern, and it looks really clean. Thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you on the next episode.